Check it out.
Hey guys, this is the one, the only, the Traveling Comics with Bueller, and I'm on Comic Book Addicts with my good buddy Scott here.
Yeah.
I've been on the show. He doesn't let me come on very often, but I actually have to drive thousands of miles to make personal appearances. But for him, I'll do it. But I hope you guys enjoy the show tonight. I know I do every week. And don't forget to vote for this guy, because I think you're nominated, right?
CBC Awards, yeah.
Yes, he's nominated. He got my vote because, he's a friend of mine. I play a little bit of favoritism, but, he deserves it. So he got my vote. But guys, enjoy the show, okay?
Hey YouTube, Brian LCS with a CBC Awards update. Finalist voting is now open. So head over to cbcawards.org and click on the vote here. Let me show you that. If you just scroll down just a little bit, you'll see the big vote here. Click on that, and that'll open up your ballot. And if you scroll a little bit further down, you can see a list of all the finalists. And if you click on their channel name, it'll take you directly to their YouTube channel. So if there's a channel that you're unfamiliar with, please go check them out. And finalist voting will run until October 19th. And then we will announce the winners Saturday, November 2nd during a live stream. It's a Saturday night. And we will announce the winners and have some special guests and some fun things planned for the community. So that's it. Thank you again to everybody who continues to support the awards, and congratulations to all of this year's finalists.
And my mic was cut off. I apologize about that. Sorry about that, you guys. Welcome to Comic Book Addicts. This is episode 89. And I was just talking about it being my favorite time of year and just blabbing on about that kind of bullshit. But welcome, guys, to another Comic Book Addicts. We got a great guest this week. But first, I wanted to talk about a few things, such as the CBC Awards coming to an end. We got 5 days. I wasn't trying to speak sign language a few minutes ago. I was actually trying to tell you guys there are 5 days left to vote. So just like Brian was saying, be sure to head on over to www.cbcawards.org and vote for your favorite creator. Even if it's not me, vote for somebody. Just get your votes in. There's so many great creators out there, so many deserving creators that deserve your vote. So be sure to head over there and do that. And sorry about the mic thing, you guys. That was Bueller in the opening clip. And keep Bueller in your prayers, y'all. He's on a little bit of a hiatus from YouTube right now, taking care of some family things that he's going through. But he's in my prayers. I hope he's in your prayers as well. But he'll be back in probably about a month or so. And but I hope everybody's having a great week so far. It's Monday, October 14th, Indigenous Peoples Day, which I did not know until just now. I saw it on my calendar, my Marvel calendar over here. But it's Indigenous Peoples Day, which is awesome. And Halloween is right around the corner, which is really awesome. My favorite time of year. What's your plans? What are you guys doing this year? Are you dressing up? Are you taking your kids trick-or-treating? If you are dressing up, let me know what you plan on being. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I know I'm probably going to go out and get a costume. I got a costume last year and dressed up for a live stream, and it was a lot of fun. So I'll probably do that again this year. And I'm going to do a Halloween show in 2 weeks. But the original person that I wanted to get is extremely busy. I actually wanted to get Mark Spears, who did Monsters. Huge smash hit, fantastic artist. And he told me he could do something pre-recorded, but he wouldn't be able to do it live. So I hit him back and was trying to get something lined up pre-recorded, but he's just so busy. Like that series blew up, and he's just a super busy artist right now. So I understand, but I'm going to try to throw together a cool Halloween show. But next week I have a little bit of a controversial guest, but I love this guy. I get along with him great. Me and Beckerman were on his live stream a couple of Sundays ago, and we had a blast. But next week, my guest is going to be Razor Comics. So he's going to be hanging out on Comic Book Addicts with me, and we're going to be talking all about comics and who knows what else. Who knows what will come out of that guy's mouth. You never know with Ray. But be sure to come back next Monday and hang out with us. And let's see. I think that's about it. I think that's all I got. Yeah, vote CBC Awards, 5 days. 5 days to get your votes in. And let's see who is in the chat. And I apologize about the audio on my mic. We got Las Cruces as usual, first in line. He says, good morning. That was at 10:34 this morning. What's up, Las Cruces? He says, hooray, as well as woohoo and hello from New Mexico. Hello from Chattanooga, Tennessee, Las Cruces. I hope you're doing well this evening. We got My Comic Pops, Lorenzo, Indie Comics and Reviews. He says, hey, Scotty, I hope you're doing great, son. I hope you're doing well, Pops. I hope you're having a great evening, and hope you're having a fantastic week. Thanks for coming through. We got my boy Tony. He says, good evening, everyone. Comiverse. Welcome, Tony. Thank you so much for coming through, man. I hope you're having a great evening out in Arkansas. He also says, hey, Scott. Hey, Austin. Thank you for coming out, Tony. I really appreciate it, man. We got Joffrey Castro saying no volume. I appreciate you guys trying to tell me. Normally I remember to unmute myself, but I forgot this time. So I apologize. So that's why you're seeing the muted and no audio there. Silent episode. Absolutely. I was doing sign language for a second. Are we supposed to read his Kenneth Bird? What's up, man? He says hi to everyone in here tonight. What's up, Kenneth? Hi to you, man. We got our guest saying he was trying to tell me. I seen it. I actually saw him pop up in the private chat, and I answered, I'm a dumbass, which is 100% true in this case. Las Cruces. DVH, man, what's going on? He says, evening all. I hope you're having a great night. It's probably early in the morning over in the UK, I would imagine. I hope you're having a great night, morning, whatever time it is over there. Hope you're having a fantastic week so far. Let's see what we got. Yes, absolutely. Pray for Bueller. Send well wishes his way. Tough times, but he'll be back. Hoot. You should do a hangout and everyone dress up. I kind of wanted to do that, but I threw the idea out to a couple of people, and it seems like everybody's already busy with things. So I don't know. She's been watching those ghost shows, dumb ghost shows where people pretend to talk to ghosts and see orbs and stuff. So I showed Blair Witch Project earlier, blew her mind. Blair Witch, that was awesome. I remember when it first came out and it was first in theaters, there was a lot of hype around it. And I liked it. I thought it was cool. Las Cruces. Let's see. We got Stu, my homie Stu. He says, Scotty, what up? I got to get rid of the squeaky chair. Every time I move, it squeaks. Brian LCS, the president of the CBC Awards. He says, evening all. What's up, Brian LCS? Thank you for coming out and showing your support. He says, last week to vote in this year's CBC Awards. 5 days left. 5 days left. And there are so many great creators that deserve your vote, even if it's not me. So be sure to go vote. www.cbcawards.org. And yeah, with that being said, let's bring the guest out. I've blabbed on enough, I think. But my guest this evening is a talented writer and artist. And he has created this awesome series by the name of Envy. I've read most of Envy and I really like it a lot. It's really cool. I was glad when he said he could hang out with us this week because we were supposed to hang out a couple of months ago, and I had an emergency situation come up with my car, and I was unable to get home in time. So he agreed to come back, and I'm very thankful for that. But y'all help me welcome to Comic Book Addicts, Austin Light.
Hello, hello. What's up?
Man? Thank you for coming out.
Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. I apologize. I owe you an apology for that last time. I had you booked for a couple of months ago, and I ended up having an emergency situation and had to cancel on you. So I apologize.
Life happens. It's like no big deal. Like this, like we're doing now. We just postpone it. We'll just do it when you can. You know.
Absolutely. I definitely wanted to get you back, man, for sure, because you seem like a really cool dude. I saw you on Gary B's live stream, and I really enjoyed the conversation, and I of course enjoyed the book. I mentioned that a second ago. I really like Envy a lot, and wanted to have you on here to talk about it. So I'm glad you're here. It's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And hello to everyone in chat. Thank you for welcoming me, and thank you again for having me on. I'm excited to talk about this.
Great. Awesome, man. I'm excited to talk about it as well. So tell us a little bit about yourself for people in the chat that may not be familiar with you. Give us the rundown on Austin Light. What are you about? A little short synopsis.
Well, I'm a huge gym rat, and I have
awesome.
Education in art, and I've been doing a lot of art and writing throughout my life. I did role play on World of Warcraft, where I learned a lot of writing skills, surprisingly, because I was in the role play area where you sank or swim on your writing and interacting your character with other characters. So that's I spent about 7 years doing that. And then, I love anime. I watch a lot of the big hits. I really like like I said earlier, I like a story that starts and ends. My poison right now is One Piece. So that's the only shonen that I'm going to invest in. People are wanting to do Naruto, Bleach. I think Bleach is coming back. Dragon Ball, Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a part of it. I'm just going to stick with One Piece, and all the others are going to be good stories, because I think some of the best stories have been like Full Metal Alchemist, Soul Eater, Attack on Titan. So that's what I'm about when it comes to narrative, where it's just really solid.
That's really cool. And that's sort of a world that I've only sort of tiptoed in just a little bit, just kind of dabbled my toes. I've read most of Chainsaw Man, but that's pretty much the only manga that I've ever read. But yeah. I love it though. I love Chainsaw Man. I just really didn't know where to go from there, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. I don't. I'll just have to get with you later. It's awesome. There's a lot of stuff to go through. Now, granted, I've only really gone through Attack on Titan, and just the anime adaptation of it got me so hooked that I was like, I want all of Attack. Like, I want all of it. Like, everything that it needs to be in my house. So
I get it.
Annie is my favorite character of all time. She's goated. She's the best. And so nice. I've got chunks of other manga. Like, I've got a piece of Soul Eater the Soul Eater Perfect Edition, which is just a hardback, souped up version of it. I've got some Steins Gate and a Tokyo Ghoul and a Death Note. That's really about it.
Very cool. That's awesome, man. So you're just more manga heavy and not so much comic books. You don't do a whole lot of comic books.
No,
That's cool.
I'm I'm I got into comic book forms of stories.
Mhm.
Like The Walking Dead is from comics.
Yeah.
Been I followed a lot of the first gen MCU up until Endgame, and then um, just like I said, when things start to recycle and there's just this next chunk of similar or torch past people, it's like you're kind of juggling with writers, who's going to do it good, who's going to do it bad,
Yeah.
and like I just, you know, I read a lot of Silk and Spider Gwen, and I love those, but
Nice.
there was the arc of Spider Gwen and Black Cat, and I think that sparked my love for Black Cat. But
Yeah.
I didn't really explore her outside of that. But like, she was a really cool character that really played well off of Silk, and then when she left the series, it was like, this is kind of mid. Like, it's really
Fell flat.
just about getting the covers. So
Yeah, I've been there. I've been on a series and it'd be really good, and then all of a sudden it just kind of falls flat. Something happens, like a character leaves, and it just falls flat. And then yeah, you're just buying it for the covers at that point. I get it. I've been there. So where are you from, man? We were talking a little bit backstage about you actually don't live too far from me.
yeah, I'm just south of Huntsville,
Nice.
a little town called Arab.
Cool.
So small town, lived here all my life, and I was doing a convention at Low Mill in Huntsville, and some girls approached the booth and was like, "Hey, oh my gosh, we love your comic. Oh my gosh, here's this and that, and we should hang out sometime. And you should meet our friend Robbie." And I was like, "Yeah,
Robbie.
yeah." And I was like, "Cool." And then a month or two passes, and we finally all get to hang out, and they're like, "And here's Robbie." And I was like, "That Robbie." Oh,
PCP Robbie.
BZB
Yeah.
Station. Rocky Robbie Live. Yeah, so
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah, it's a small world. That's
so
really
me and
cool.
him are friends now, and I try not to, like, I don't want to be like, can you like say good stuff about my comic? And so, but he's really cool just to hang out with. He's real fun.
I'm
We went to
sure.
karaoke the other night, and bro got up on stage and was just spitting Ice Ice Baby, just flawlessly.
Nice. I could see that. I could totally picture that.
I've got video.
Oh man. He's got video. The man's got video. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear you had a good time. Sounds like a good time.
It was great. But yeah, small world, and Bueller had come through on several occasions when Robbie was having him guest and this and that, and so I got to meet him. So
yeah,
it's just crazy. I was like,
I love Travis.
Like,
Travis, he'll always have a special place in my heart because even though he was a big channel, he always would show up for me and support my channel when I was really tiny. So I'll never forget that. And he's been a good friend. Bueller's a good friend to a lot of people.
He's one of those good guys. Like,
he really is.
Him and Robbie, just good guys. They are, for the most part, they're who they are on camera, and I'm 100% sure you are as well. So
I hope so. I'm pretty sure I am. But yeah, man, Travis is a genuinely amazing person. That's why I feel for him, man. I really feel for. We all hit tough times, and I hope that he's doing okay. And Rich, what's up, man? Thank you for coming out. Comic Cap, welcome. Says yo, hello. All. We got Stu saying, "Let's go, Robbie. Austin, we need that video." Agreed. So, have you been an artist all of your life, or did you start? At what point in your life did you take up creating?
Well, I've been an artist
Cliff,
in in the aspect of if I have something free to do at school, nobody to talk to, nothing going on, I'm going to draw. And that's typically what I did. And then I went through art classes, and I've always had fun drawing, and everybody was very amazed by, my earliest drawings as, 4th and 5th grade. And so that was the trajectory I was going.
Okay.
And then I was like, uh-oh, I don't know about making a living off of this, because nobody would know anything about the art industry as it was developing in the 2010s, because
Mhm.
it was like, so what are you going to do when you grow up? And I'm like, I don't know. I would like to be, I don't know, a concept artist, because like that's the first thing that you think of as in art. But like there's so many things. You can be an indie photographer. You can be, well, a photographer for just any, magazine, any
Mhm.
media. They need it.
Advertising design. Yeah.
And then design, user experience, game design.
Mhm.
There was a whole world that I didn't know about, so I didn't shoot for anything particular. I was just like, I want to be in the art field. So, yeah, I just went to community college. Oh, well, I kind of got off track there. So I was like, I don't know about this career. And then I was like, well, I've been training really hard and working out a lot and learning a lot about that for the past 3 or 4 years. I might try that route. And
Okay.
ultimately, I was like, well, I kind of want to make some art around the training. Like I
Okay.
want to kind of combine the two. And so, like my heart was always like drawn back to some form of like characters. And so I wasn't really big into
Mhm.
comics like the Marvel and DC and Image and those universes. But I was into animation, I was into anime, I was into cartoons, and then I was also into like things like The Walking Dead, things that spawned in media from comics. Um, and I'd also made some early comics when I was younger. That was a lot of fun with my friends.
Nice.
So I was just like, I'm gonna go back to the art route and figure out what the crap I'm doing. So uh,
Mhm.
I did, and I was going to go for graphic design somewhere. And
Yeah.
then I got into a design position. And I wasn't the designer, but I was under a designer working directly with her. And then I was
Okay.
like, I don't like where she's at necessarily. And I don't like anything beyond where she's at either, because there's so much bureaucracy in this company that is like wanting you to do these tedious things. You don't get to actually
Mhm.
design anything yourself. You don't get to do. And
That
and all
sucks.
the while I felt kind of trapped up there just doing the menial tasks. And everybody loved me. They were like, you do such a good job at everything. Everything's organized, everything's like flowing like consistently. And but I was just like, I don't like this. I want to make things and make a character and bring it to life and stuff. So yep, I quit and fell back onto a gym job where I have all this free time at my desk.
Okay.
And for the last year and a few months, I've been full time there, and I get to just work on my comic at the desk.
Nice.
And uh, and just go from there. So um, Envy was a webtoon back in 2019, back when
Okay.
I first started college, and it was on and off for a while on hiatus because I got into webtoon. It was like, cool, I can just, it's like YouTube but with comics,
I was
just
actually going to
free to
ask you
post.
to explain what webtoons was for anybody watching in case they're unfamiliar.
Right. So it's exactly that. Like a lot of indie creators would just format their comic to be scrollable. And
Okay.
when you did that, it was just easy to ingest,
Right.
and people would pretty much get on a binge and start, excuse
Checking
me,
it out.
start checking it out. And then and so I was like, I want to try this thing, so I was just kind of blew my mind. I was like, oh wow, I could put my whole comic out, this garbage comic out, and there's
Not
no
garbage at all.
anything pulling me back or anything, so that's when I really got the itch to keep doing that. And it was on and off. I quit the job to like keep trying to press that, and I pressed it for about a
Mhm.
year still in webtoons. And I went to a convention where there was like, where are the comics? Like, dude, where are the physical comics? And I was like, it's on this app and you got to download it. And for whatever reason, people just were not like vibing with that. So I was like, okay, I guess it's going to print. I started listening to this podcast called Comic Lab, and they were like, the
Comic Lab.
first episode I listened to, they were immediately like, if you're not anime style romance, you should probably ditch webtoons. Not only that, but there are possibly IP issues that would come down the hole like later on in your webtoons career.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, that's
Gotta
it.
ditch
I'm
it.
just going to reboot it. And I did. So last August, I rebooted Envy, and now I'm 2 issues deep, and issue 3 is currently coming out, and you can
Nice.
see that on my Substack. You can see that on my website. It's all there. But it's been an awesome, fun journey.
Now, when do you think that when is issue 3 projected to come out?
I would say before March. I really want to hope to get a Kickstarter going in February. And I might go ahead and start trying to make assets for it, because I'm working on page 11 right now, and I think I could probably get to page 30 by the time the Kickstarter would be finished.
Okay. Now, where's the best place? You said you're moving away. You have moved away from webtoons. Where's the best place to find Envy? Where can people check it out at right now? Where can people go support you?
Well, Envy is on my website, AmericanDemonComics.com.
Awesome.
And it's set up just like a webtoon, where you just pick one.
Oh, sweet.
If my finger is registering. And I design the page first, and then I splice up the page to scroll each panel. Sometimes it's a little wonky to get around that, but for the most part, I can figure it out.
Okay.
But you can read it just like a webtoon on my website.
That's sweet. Yeah, because I know I went through and watched. I scrolled through all the webtoons and read everything on webtoons.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that was from 2 years ago, just about, and there were some.
Okay.
Those were 2019. Some I think were 2020. 2021 drops on webtoon, but I haven't updated that in a long time.
But that was kind of the start of it, though, right? Like the early beginning of it.
Okay. And some I went back. I've gone back before. I was like, man, I wish I kind of went more this route a little bit, kept on to this piece of the story into the reboot, but I had to get past it. I was like, I think I rebooted that. This would have been my 3rd time, and I was like, I just want to get past this origin. Like, please God, I want to get past this origin. So I have.
And we have the first 2 issues loaded up, which we'll take a look at here in a little bit. But as an artist, who are some other artists that have inspired you to want to create? You said you're into manga. Are there any artists that sort of inspired you to want to do this?
Hajime Isayama, without a doubt. And it's just kind of, it's not so much like he's really good. He's a good artist, but he didn't start out that way. And you can tell that it's very, it's a little rough for like manga standards. Like, it's still better than like most of what I make, but like for the normal manga standard, it's a little rough to look at. but it's so charming because you can see those hash marks, you can see those micron pin marks, you can see where they cut everything, cut the screen tones, and it's just really, really cool to be able to look at it, because it's one of those that's less in an illusion. So like all art is just an illusion, and if you kind of dig into it, you'll see what the strokes are. And that one you can really see the strokes, but the characters still carry so much expression, and the story just carries so much weight and a punch. So like that's really what I'm aiming for. I feel like I've got my art side for the most part kind of figured out, and I'm continuously trying to develop that, but it's just naturally developing with every page. So that I feel fairly confident on. It's hard to get some like maybe some angles or some backgrounds to kind of make sense for me still, but like that's still getting better. But the story is what I really want to make sure is good, because I don't get a whole lot of feedback on that. Like just not any feedback really. The most feedback I get is like on Reddit. And every now and then
Okay.
somebody will say interesting, or wow, this art is so good. You know, just every now and then a
Generic
comment,
feedback.
you know. So, and I understand that it's hard because it's a long form comic. This is going to run me about 3 to 5 years. And it's hard to get into something midway through. I try to put little like, you know, here's what happened last time and here's what's going on now. But it's
Yeah.
I'm still getting the groove of everything. It is only a year in, so I don't
It's a
know.
learning process for you.
Yeah. But for the story wise, I would love to hear people's feedback, like honest to goodness feedback. Like if it's a little weak here, it's a strong here, and if you kind of do this with it, maybe it'll get better. You know, it's like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel you. Because a lot of times people may be afraid to give you honest criticism on something, um,
Hmm.
not to discourage you or something like that. But I don't know. Sometimes people need that. Sometimes artists need that, and sometimes uh, I don't know. It's to improve on your stuff and make yourself better, I guess. But
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
I have it I got it loaded up here. Let's see. So we can actually take a look at it. I was going to ask you to actually talk to us about the series, um, but I'll actually pull it up on the screen as we talk about it.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm just letting it load up here.
Now Seth is saying it's a comic book about gym rats.
Yeah,
Um,
he had
so
said something.
it's not, but I'm actually right now in between workout programs. So I usually follow this guy Jeff that does Athlete X, and I usually do his programs. But I'm trying to do a program right now that is kind of based off of Envy. Like what would she do, or what would you do to get Envy's physique kind of thing in her demon form?
Okay.
Because that is still part of what I'm wanting to do with this series and other series, is to have IPs that I can also attach to some of my health uh, and training bonuses, I guess you could say, like exclusives and stuff like that, so that it's a little bit more than a story. And because these characters that I've seen in these shows that I love, Major Armstrong, uh, Commander Armstrong, Annie, the female Titan, Reiner, the armored Titan, and just about all the Titans. They're jacked, agile, and cool. And then Urza Scarlet from Fairy Tail. A lot
How
of
do I get
people
rid of
identify
that?
with Goku. But all these characters inspired me in the gym, and that's what I kind of want to do with these characters, is to help inspire people.
That's awesome. I love it. I was trying to. I've got it. Okay. I think I have it loaded up without that. Yes. Okay. Sweet. I had this document tab that kept pulling up here. So this is the series Envy that you were just talking about, and this is your baby. This has been your passion project for the last couple of years. And
Yeah.
so tell us. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It still looks like it's in a doc file.
Oh crap. Okay.
I can share my screen if you would like.
Can you do that?
I can.
Open with.
So I got it shared. You would just have to put it in.
Okay. Boom. There we go.
So awesome. This is issue 1.
Cool. Issue 1.
And
as you can see, it's very manga inspired. You can tell that you're heavily influenced by manga. I love it.
Right.
It's very cool.
So what has been a lot of fun is trying to learn about demons and angels, because the Bible isn't really the only origin of these entities, as far as the Judaic history and everything goes. So I've been going down rabbit holes on trying to learn more about esotericism in this field, but I do introduce I do introduce the Archangel Michael and Envy here, because Envy is King Belial, one of the Goetic demons. And I did not know this going in, but King Belial and Michael are actually the primary warlords of... I don't know the context. If I've heard it through some channels that King Belial and Michael are supposed to war with each other, and I don't know if that was a prophetic war, like such as the end times of Armageddon, or if that's a theoretical war that has happened in times past. But they are supposed to be like rivals, which is hilarious to me, because I was like, oh, good, that works perfectly. I did most of these pages in Photoshop. For the first portion of this. But here you can see Envy is in the she's in the veil, which is just what we cannot see, what humans cannot perceive. There's ghosts, there's demons, there's the skinwalkers, everything that comes in and out of this veil. And she's here waiting for her victim to be killed, because once they're killed, it's much easier to see, their soul is released. Now they are in the veil, and they're there to be collected. And but she's contested. Huh?
And this is kind of like that person's protector, the guardian right there.
Yes. And I didn't really like designate him to be, but like for all intents and purposes, he is. So like the guardian angel, very Templar looking.
That battle scene is pretty badass. I love that panel.
I appreciate it. It's a lot of fun to make the battles. It's I want to lean into horror, but it's hard to do that with images. I've even read Junji Ito, you know, big name horror manga art,
I'm
and it's
familiar.
just still not like, it still doesn't really like terrify you, you know. Maybe it might make you think a little too hard, but
Okay.
uh,
That's cool sometimes.
yeah. Let's see. So
But we had this
Indy's
battle taking
here.
place.
They're in the battle. She's a mage pretty much for the most part. He mentions that Limbo is not supposed to be under control by the demons, and so you get a little flavor of the story. And then she slays him, and now Jenny, the one who dies, is up for grabs because now she's being killed, and that I on purpose did not give any reason as to why this man was chasing her. It's just kind of like,
Mysterious.
if you kind of listen to what he's saying and what she is,
Mhm.
then you'll kind of get it, but it's really not important. So
Okay.
now Envy finds her soul, and she, explains what's going on.
She's basically getting ready to go to hell, correct?
Yeah. She explains that I killed your guardian, and you are now on your way to hell with me. And this, I think, is the first page where I started using. No, it was this page. I started using Clip Studio Paint. So I'm using Clip Studio Paint at this point, and I've
Oh,
not
okay.
quit using Clip Studio Paint since then. So
Nice.
it kind of takes on a different look. So the screen tone is much easier to do. The pins work a lot better for the style. So
Okay.
you might see that change up there. And then I also had it like, I still wasn't familiar with Clip Studio Paint. So like there were settings that were off, and it was not like 11 by 17 page like I wanted it. So
Uh,
it also fits weird when I have to put it into print.
I love the character design for King Belial. She looks awesome. Just absolutely awesome.
I appreciate it. I thank you so much, because that's sometimes I don't know. I'm like, is it cool? If I think it looks cool,
I think it's
then
badass.
somebody else probably thinks it looks cool. So I usually
Yeah,
roll with
definitely.
it at that point.
Definitely. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely wouldn't lie. I probably just wouldn't have had you on the show, period, if I just didn't like the book, honestly. That's how I deal with that type of stuff.
That's what Gary said, so I'm on the right track.
Yeah, man.
So she gets tossed into this hell, and now she meets Satanas, and Satan is the prosecutor. He is the prosecutor in heaven, or at least that's what Satanas means. He is a prosecutor,
Oh,
an
okay.
adversary. So in the book of Job, he's in heaven with God. They're having a discussion, and people kind of get that mixed up, thinking he's the biggest, he's the serpent. But as far as I can tell in story and everything, he's a prosecutor. So that's what I made him in here, as a lawyer. And
Nice.
fortunately, I don't need to know a whole lot of law for a kangaroo court. So
Right. Right. And that's absolutely what it is here. It's Kangaroo Court is in session, and it starts getting really good right here too. Like from here on out, the rest of the book is just awesome.
Right. So she's
Some freaky stuff, some crazy stuff.
Jenny's caught off guard. She's like, doesn't know what's going on, and they're like, well, you're going to hell no matter what, but let's see what the judge has to say. And
And she asks at one point what she's going to hell for, and they're basically like, "You'll find out soon enough."
yeah, she's like, let's see.
Something along the lines of only you would know, or I don't know. You'll find.
Oh, yes, that's when she's up here. She's like, hell, indeed. And it's like, what did I ever do to deserve that? Only you will know that.
There you go.
So
yeah, only you will know that.
that's a little bit of foreshadowing. And she gets down. And Satanas says, Judge, show yourself, cover. And she reveals herself to be Jenny, which is just kind of the mirror image. And Jenny then freaks out. She's a prostitute. She knows what she's done. She knows how she feels. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that for certain people that could carry some guilt. And then on top of that, everybody's done something bad. Everybody knows what they've, everybody knows what they've done in their life. And when she sees that it's her as the judge, Satana says, it's strange to see yourself outside that photograph or beyond the mirror. We are our own worst judges. So,
yep, absolutely.
She is then found guilty and then banished.
Slam. And this is awesome, man. I love the next couple of panels. Just looks so cool.
Yeah. I really enjoyed doing kind of a splash here. It's not like 100%, but
I feel like you needed it right here, and it looks great.
And it's also, I'm just trying to trickle in a little bit of foreshadowing, because it's like this root, this thing has not revealed itself fully yet. Like there's more of that later. So she ends up in hell. This is where the demons rampage. This is where amalgamations live. This is where just robotic, soulless things feast. And like Satana said, she is to be feasted on until she's molecules, and then she's still continued to be feasted on and become part of these legions in this hell.
She's just basically being toyed with right now.
Mm-hmm. And so she sees a light. She thinks she's tossed. She thinks she's been dreaming this whole time. And she finds out that she is not. And a pretty gruesome scene takes place, and she is then feasted on.
It's awesome. You horror fans out there, you will definitely love this book for these scenes in particular.
And then Envy, it's kind of revealed. I don't know. I don't think I did like the best job in putting that echo in there, but this light that she sees, right, like y'all can see me pointing at it. This light that she's seeing, asking, is that the moon? It's just the porthole of where Envy and Lust can see through their viewing glass, and they're watching this happen, and you can see it in that black orb.
I picked up on that when I read it. I picked up on that.
Cool. Good, thank you.
Yeah, no, I think yeah.
And then you kind of get a sense of the relationship between Belial and Asmodeus here. They're both kings, and there's 7 other kings in hell, but Belial is the second unto Lucifer, according to the Goetia.
This kind of like a little sibling rivalry type scene going on right here.
Yes. So Lust always has to listen to what Belial demands and what she thinks, and has to listen to her and everything. So I dropped a little dollop of that in there.
Nice.
And that is the end.
That's where it leaves off. That's a pretty good first issue. You get a lot. You get a lot of story in that first issue.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. I don't know if you know him, but Kevin Stokes. He works at the Low Mill.
I've heard that name. I really have.
He's done some contract work, I think, with Image and DC and Marvel at different times. But I learned under him back in 2017 in a few classes.
Nice.
And
That's
then
very cool.
When I was making this last page, I went up to Low Mill and worked in the studio with him. And he was showing me some comics where he's like, see where they kind of break up the paneling here and they kind of just take away that and they leave it kind of open. It gives the page a little air to breathe. Well, that's what I did. And that's what I've been doing a lot. Is that first little suggestion from him takes place here with Envy kind of being outside of the panels. So it was my first experimentation with that.
Very cool, man. I think it turned out fantastic. It really is. It really is a good first issue. You get introduced to several very cool characters. It takes you through the story of Jenny and what's going to happen to her, and you get the kangaroo court thing, and then it takes you through hell, and you really do get a good chunk of story for the first issue.
I'm glad to hear it. It's a strange thing to write. Oh, did I go out?
No, it's still on screen.
Okay. It's a strange thing to write because it's so retrospect to be like, that was good or that was not good. Or I could have taken it this way instead of this way. And you really have to kind of like really have it planned out and be looking at each step carefully to see if you're answering questions and if you are opening up questions and if the characters are also interesting. Are they dynamic? Are they static? Are they changing? Are they who do they get along with? Who are they not going to get along with? What's the chemistry between all of them? All that kind of stuff is a juggling act.
That's a lot. That's a lot to factor in. It does seem like a lot to factor in, but you did a good job of it, man. You really did. It's a great first issue.
Thank you. It means a lot.
And seriously, anybody that's watching, go check it out. Anybody checking the replay as well, go check it out. AmericanDemonComics.com. And they can find the first issue in its entirety on AmericanDemonComics.com, correct?
Yes. I think some of the first ones that I posted early on might not have a desktop form of reading it. Because I was just new to making all this stuff on the website, and I really don't show my website a whole lot of love. I just make sure it's updated. So it's best read on your phone if you're going to be reading it on the website, but I think that works for a lot of people. And then the chance to get it is during Kickstarters, physically for now. I do hope to have a Patreon down the road but I got to get an audience and I got to get some, I want to have some feedback.
And when do you plan on starting? Do you plan on starting up a Kickstarter campaign in the near future?
I'm thinking that I'll be trying to shoot for one in February.
Nice.
So
very cool. Awesome.
This was issue 2. Issue 2 is also out. You can see some of the evolution in the art, some experimentation. My lettering is getting a lot better. I've been trying to learn some lettering.
We're introduced to some brand new characters in this issue.
Yes. Some of my favorite characters.
Yeah, I love a good
Fritz
punk rock character.
Gas.
Yeah, I love a good punk rock character, man. I'm a punk rock kid at heart, so.
Yeah, so again, these are up in page and scrollable format on my website. And American Demon Comics is not going to be just Envy. I do plan on wrapping Envy up in about 4 years,
Okay.
if not sooner. So I do have some stories that I'm trying to think on and develop also right now.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure my next one will be a Western involving Bigfoot.
Whoa, that's gonna be fun, man.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
People love Sasquatch too, so
Yeah, and I don't want to do Sasquatch in any kind of goofy way or in any kind of brute force kind of way. I don't want to. I want him to be very horror and subtle, and but it's really not going to be Bigfoot that's going to be the attraction of this book. But
okay, dude,
that's what I'm
cool,
going to do.
That sounds awesome. Like, it really does. You should definitely go forward with that. I love the idea. It's awesome.
Appreciate it. But yeah, I've got more projects that I want to do for the American Demon Comics brand. I'd want to do this for the rest of my life. I want to die in my creating table. So
This is just the start of many things to come.
So yeah, be on the lookout for Kickstarters. You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Substack. I do update regularly on Substack. So like, that's a direct email to your inbox that will get updates. And I try not to do 1-page updates anymore. I try to do 2 or 3, kind of depending on how the scene takes place and if I can fit it within 20 panels. So what's up, Robbie?
Oh, did we have? Oh man, Robbie, what's up? What's going on?
Robbie, you know you're also a sexy motherfucker. You know it.
Thanks for coming out, Robbie. We were just talking Envy and checking out this man's fantastic comic that he has, and talking about American Demon Comics, which you guys should go check out if you're checking this out on the replay or if you're hanging out with us right now. It says, "What's up, Scotty? Doing great work. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you watching. I got a new video I'm dropping this Wednesday. I hope that you'll check out. I wanted to mention to you guys, I've been doing these adult erotica in comics videos, and they've been doing pretty well for me, and I've been having fun doing them. This Wednesday, we'll be talking about Howard Cruz. Let me clear this comment off. We'll be talking about Howard Cruz and gay comics. Some good underground comics. I feel like I did it. I feel like it was very tastefully done. So I hope that you guys will check it out. It'll drop this Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. And Robbie, thanks for coming out, man. But Austin, you got plans to build off of. This is not just going to be Envy. It's going to be a whole brand that you're building. This American Demon Comics. This is just the start of it.
Yes, I love the esoteric. I love the paranormal. I love the mysterious. I love big fights. I love things that are cool, and everything has to have a cool factor. So, that's, and I love good writing, and that's what I hope. That's what I strive for, is to write better each and every time, as well as the art develops. But I want to make good stories for people.
Well, I think you're doing a good job. I think you're off to a great start, man. Really, I do. And I wanted to thank you again for coming and hanging out with me tonight. I know we tried this once before, a couple of months, and like, I had the car issues, an emergency situation, and it sucked. It was a really shitty day. But I do want to apologize and thank you for coming back and hanging out with me this evening. It's been a lot of fun talking to you.
Oh, it's been awesome to talk to you.
Oh, dude. Robbie saying Howard was a mentor to my good friend Joe Corallo. That's awesome. I've learned a lot about Howard Cruz. He's been the subject of several videos that I've done since I've been doing these underground videos. His name keeps coming up, so he must have been a pretty fantastic person and creator. But speaking of fantastic creators, Austin Light, be sure you guys are following him. He's got an Instagram, Austin Light, over on Instagram. You can keep up with him and what's going on with him over there. We got AmericanDemonComics.com. And is that the best two ways that they can keep up with you?
Again, I highly suggest my Substack. Just go to Substack.com, make an account, follow me on Substack. It's just an email subscribe list. And you get direct. I'll have Kickstarter updates go right to your email. I have comic updates go right to your email. I have show and appearances like this go right to your email. So it's a fun platform to utilize, and I don't have to pay for it like I would with MailChimp. So emails are good.
So go to Substack, sign up for that. And what else can people do that want to support you to help you with your cause and your projects?
Read it, subscribe, give me some comments. There are good and bad ways to go about giving a critique. But any kind of suggestion I'll look into. But just comment, share it. I'm on Facebook. Everything's American Demon Comics. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, American Demon Comics. Those basic social media areas. You can find me pretty easy. But yeah, just any way that you can share it would be awesome.
Sweet. There you go. And be on the lookout for a possible new Kickstarter in February, correct?
Mm-hmm. I also have a podcast and show that I do on a weekly basis with Brandon Ingram from Dismay Comics, and that's on my YouTube channel, so you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm thinking about starting to actually put thumbnails on there and actually kind of give it a little bit more development. So
you definitely should, man. And the thumbnails make a big difference. A good thumbnail will bring people in. So,
well, I just kind of was like, let's see if we can even stick to doing this before I want to commit anything to it. So it's been a year, and I think that we're ready to just bump up the level a little bit.
Awesome. Well, I know I'm going to check it out. I hope any of you guys that are checking this out on the replay, hanging out with us right now, I hope that you guys will go check out Austin and his many projects, the many amazing projects. Really cool dude. Thank you so much, Austin, for hanging out with us this evening, dude. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you again.
And I hope that you guys will come back and hang out with me again next week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, where I will be hanging out with the controversial Razor Comics. Always beefing with somebody, but me and him ain't beefing. We're cool. It's going to be a fun show. I hope you guys come out and hang out with me next week. And we'll end it how we always do with a little Biggie Shack. See you guys next time.
I'd say that one is a banger, man. It's a real certified banger, dude.